So much.
As you turn and face the bed, you notice Val lying rather still. What's left of his mortal parts are very pale.
Hey, Val?
He's cold to the touch, and he's unmoving, very stiff. But his expression is soft.
Just a hand over to heart. Val?
It's still. There is no beat.
Val? No. That. You were fine. You were fine before it. He can be helped.
Greetings, dear.
Is there a healer awake? I need someone looked at. Val, he's
I'm not
okay.
aware. I've just woken up myself. I could gladly look around, dear. By all means, come follow me up. Who specifically?
Val, he's.
Right. Okay, then I'll see if anybody is awake currently. Not mind. No, does not seem to be just the Ferrari here. Just thinking.
Rowan, I need your help. Val, he's something's
yeah.
wrong. He's
No, late, come on.
he's cold.
And
He's in here. Top bunk.
Top punk? Help me get him down.
Very stiff, very pale, very cold.
Help me get him down. Help me get him down. Lift up the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Val, come on. Wake up, buddy.
You know what, Val's room? No, there he goes.
In here, Chancellor.
He's in here.
Of course not. Val? Sir, he's not breathing. Sir?
I woke up to him like this.
He doesn't have a pulse, he's very cold.
No heartbeat.
He was fine when we went to bed.
Of course.
Sir, he had no external
There
injuries.
is
I
no
didn't...
heartbeat.
See, there's nothing. There's no external... When I run my divine through him, it doesn't...
Everything was treated with him. His armor took all the blows for him. They were supposed to.
Do not focus on healing. Focus on using your divine mana to see where everybody has a pattern and the exact shape the body knows it needs to be in. Reach for that. Try to feel what is out of place.
Not sure for now, dear. Just make sure to take some time for yourself for now.
His externals are fine. organs. So, is Professor Monty around?
I do not know.
I'm thinking it might be the tech related.
He's scanning his internals to see what anything that's out of place or wrong.
Specifically, it was just organ failure. Being as seasoned as you are, this is very much a dead body.
From what I've heard, the grapevine, I don't think one of you.
What do you feel?
I'm sorry to say that.
Most of his organs seem fine, but some of the Aethertech ones, I don't know Aethertech very well, but they're not functioning, or they weren't, or they ruptured, I don't know.
Hand on your shoulder. Boy, I'm sorry.
Hopefully we made it out. He was supposed to be here with us.
These kind of things happen, I'm afraid.
Is that the door? I'll poke my head.
They're trying to treat him, I think, but it didn't seem good from what I heard.
Excuse me,
Captain, come on.
Don't worry about it. He's already gone.
Oh, it's a bit cramped down here.
We're gonna be fishing for a few. We need everything we can.
It can't be too difficult or different to lake fishing, right? So, sure.
With a moving boat, it's a little different, but also we'll be designating jobs to everyone here. Oh, perfect, Sinclair.
Brilliant. It is, right. By all means, Captain. I hope the journey so far has been going well. Even if I hope there have been no complications during the night.
Thankfully not. A bit of shakiness on the boat, but besides that, like I was just saying, I'm hoping to designate jobs that help around the boat, make sure everything goes smoothly, and hopefully start fishing, because we don't have all the food in the world.
While I am not an expert on certain manners that require boat-related manners, I'm still able to help wherever I can.
That's more than appreciated. Mourning.
What kind of food do we have?
We have some porridge that is called water and such. Simple stuff that we can carry easily. Don't expect.
Would you like a shoulder to lean on?
I hope you guys can get used to
I
fish.
don't know.
Yeah. Would you mind if I sit with you?
Are you holding?
Go ahead.
I'll let you too. I won't bother you too.
Nothing more that we can do.
So
sorry.
You do not need to leave. You can join us. It is fine.
Asylum at Rosewood.
Hi, good morning. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't mind. I'm just.
I know it's a lot, dear. I understand that very much.
He took so many hits.
I have myself
Don't
also.
strike me. This could have been my fault. That things failed like that.
No,
It doesn't feel real.
it is not, dear. Believe me. People that I've worked with had the same mindset that he had. They were stubborn. They had their own mind. And believe me, they took every blow that they took for one. They took every blow that was supposed to be meant for somebody else with honor and respect. Believe me, it's not your fault. It was his choice.
I'm sorry, I'm not hungry. Okay.
Mourning, excuse me. Have either you seen Vesper or Rin?
No.
So far, I have not, Rowan. I apologize. And of course, while we are talking about this, if you wish to take a moment for yourself and talk with us, feel free to do so. We are open to do so at any time.
In a minute, I need to find them.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to subject you to that. I'm sorry
it's not my
too.
fault.
It just...
Don't.
How you doing,
I need to find them. I need to find them.
What?
How you holding up?
How about you?
Is
You're
I
right.
saw him
everyone
before
else
everyone went
still
to
below?
But I saw him before he was going to sleep.
You're
He was
bad,
fine when I went to sleep.
If you don't see them up above, then most likely. I haven't been on deck.
If you are you aware of the situation that transpired below deck, or would you want to be informed about it?
I mean, too much.
What situation?
Good either, right?
By the look of it, from Lumen team, I'm not sure what your connection with him was.
Find out what the right amount is, won't we?
Val has not made it through the night.
That's true.
He's passed.
Is that the stick?
Oh, yeah.
Dear,
One of the
I understand. It is okay.
What
You
happened?
do not need to force yourself. You do not need to force yourself to let it in. If it needs to be, let it out.
I don't know.
That was
The
nice,
sounds of
right? You realise so many other things you could have
The
brought.
Organs
We had a
that
whole
were
table full of
protective
gold in the
his
basement. We had
failed.
all that ale.
There was no
I'm like,
injury
no,
on his
wait,
body.
stick.
He looked fine when we were going to sleep. You wake up and he's pale,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
moving.
You say Val did. What?
It's why I don't believe if it can be avoided.
People are asking, would you want me to tell them? Or would you want this to be something that Team Lumen breaks the news to people?
People are going to need
I do not
to
need,
know
you do
either
not need
way.
to do it. It is okay, dear.
I've been sitting all night.
I don't
I'm not
want to
very
be the
hungry.
bearer of bad news.
I'll do it. It is okay. You rest yourself up. Cry if you need to. You have the reason for it, and it is okay.
You sure?
Yeah. Let me.
What matters now is that Lumen, who is still alive, sticks together. As a unit,
Fine, like,
even if it's hard.
yeah, I want to go look around.
In this sad situation, in this current life that we're living, there will be times when we'll lose team members. It is a natural thing, sadly. But it's not something that we should just take lightly. It is okay to mourn.
Where, I mean, what are they gonna,
You wouldn't have a moment.
I'm not sure what they're going to do with the body.
I don't think anyone's thought that far ahead.
Solus isn't feeling so well. I think you need to look at him.
What? Okay,
Eat. Eat as much as you can. Do not force yourself, but try your best.
Thanks.
okay. I'm sorry.
After you.
I hope, Caleb, Lothario, I hope you two had a good night and had a restful night as well. God, Caleb, you look horrible, and I say that in a
Just
respectful
hope
manner.
everyone on your team
Are you
is
sure you don't
okay.
need any medical treatment?
No, it was all from yesterday.
I don't know. I haven't seen them.
I'm not sure if you've heard it, but there have been some sad news for the morning, but at least if you wish to hear them, I will tell you. If not,
Yeah, I
then
think
it is understandable if you
believe overhead.
I don't know what I...
Yes. I'm
How
not
can
sure
I
how you
not
felt
see it
about
as my
him, but
fault?
know that if you ever need to speak about the manor, I'm gladly here to listen.
The state where I was, where I couldn't even move properly
Wait, so that
because of
wasn't-
that being near the rift.
Malik himself,
He
in
kept
combination with
protecting me.
Rowan,
He
looked
kept
over
me
him.
from getting pulled towards it.
He did not make it through the night.
Just when I thought he was actually starting to get a little not scary.
I understand it's a heavy topic, but know that if you need to talk about it,
The last thing I was
about
to it was a
anything,
burden, and now I
whatever
don't even
event,
get a chance
cry.
to fix that.
I'm here to listen. That goes to all of you.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'll leave you all to it.
What are you doing with Ariel? Fine. You okay?
I can't touch any mana.
I'm sorry.
It's alright,
You need to talk to Malik.
you don't have to force it if you
He's a bit occupied.
aren't okay.
I can't believe this is happening.
I don't think anyone could have seen that. Any of it. He chose to take the death, actually. He had the choice to. They let him pick. I just don't know what we're supposed to do now. Nobody has any idea what to do after that, but out of anyone on our team, one who always had a plan even in the worst situations was him.
Did you want any breakfast? I know we have to.
So
I'm okay.
now we don't even have
You gotta
some...
say goodbye.
My head hurts enough that I think chewing would kill me.
If I just been paying attention, maybe you could have gotten help in the middle of the night. I don't deserve to say goodbye to him when I was the one who could have actually done something. I was literally right under him.
Yes.
The same room.
Could I sit with you?
He was dying
I wouldn't
right
change a thing
above
about
me.
it.
Thanks. Afterwards, absolutely.
I didn't even see it.
Just need to make sure everything's
No, of course not.
I know.
I mean, I'd hate to think what would happen if you didn't, or if I didn't, or
Yeah, Ron.
anyone else for that matter.
This is in a few minutes' time. The Chancellor and me will work on preserving the body. Hopefully we can go for a better funeral, but right now might be the best chance to say our goodbyes. Like.
Okay.
Yeah, Malik too.
I don't feel like I have the right to, but okay.
Zuko, do you know anyone else that I was close to on the ship?
Maybe Filio?
I can get together if you'd like.
I'll go around and see to inform other people who might not be unaware of the situation, but I'm sure by the midday everybody will know.
Think you've seen clear?
Of course. Also, for you to understand, depending on what the captain has said and the way we're traveling, I will most likely, once we reach shore, potentially depart. And
Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you want to be alone with him?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Okay. Maybe saying a few words will help.
I heard that you were gathering people.
Yeah, come here. It doesn't. It never does. So tired of burying people. I know. Knew you what, 2 weeks? You were callous, stubborn son of a bitch, with a wicked sense of humor. But you were honest. You were honest. And you were there when it mattered. I don't know how many folks saw it, but I did. I saw what you did. Throwing yourself in front of everyone like that. Dumb son of a bitch. I saw you do it with Céline, and I saw you do it with Rowan, and I saw you do it with me. You didn't have to take so many hits for us. What you did? You knew me, what, 2 weeks, and you were throwing yourself in front of fucking refugees for me.
Rowan? I'm sorry, man.
dumb son of a bitch. Why would you do that? 2 weeks? You give me 2 weeks.
Be okay. Be alright, okay? Easy.
You were better than... You were better than what everyone thought you were. I'm only here 2 weeks and I saw that. Good ones die though, you dumb bastard.
I don't think I'll lock it down here. I'll be honest with you.
At least he died like a true son of Palvindor. Side by side with comrades and in a fight. Even if it took a while to catch up with you.
Sorry for you guys' loss.
Fucker.
Yeah, no, sounds like
Nope, he's me.
I hear there's a line. We should go.
I don't get it. I don't get how you went to the level that you did to care about someone like me for someone you barely knew. Didn't even question all the weird shit that happened yesterday, just kept going through and protecting me despite being the biggest liability out of anyone there. And now I don't even get a chance to say thank you to where you'll hear it. If I was paying attention, maybe I would have noticed something was wrong. If I was awake, I could have seen it happen.
Rowan.
I could have helped.
Got some sheets here.
I could have done so much for you.
I do need to ask you
You
of what the lumen would like done with the body.
were supposed to be the one that gave us a plan to go forward.
Do we have a plan of where we're heading to, sir?
We always had a plan because of you.
Currently, we are a few days out from
And right
the
now,
nearest port. Where
we
we'll
don't
go
have
there,
a plan.
resupply.
We don't
and then
have
we need to
anything.
start reaching out to what we're doing next.
You tried
See
to make
who
me
can
feel
take
like
us
a part
and
of the
where we
team,
go.
even though I was so afraid
Impossible. I
of everything.
until we can do a proper burial.
Alright.
It's that first port.
Then
Even though
I will exsanguinate his body,
a bit of a
and
jerk
perhaps
at
when
times, you
Balmadiel is up and around in
protected
the next few days,
all
he
the
might
same.
be able to whip something up to keep
I don't get you at
the
all.
body from going bad.
Why'd you have to go?
Alright. I need to go and get something else.
If anybody, it should have been me that went. At least it would have been. They wouldn't have to worry about if this will happen again. So you won't hear it. Thanks. I'm sorry I let you down. When you needed it most. Whoever's next can go.
This should do.
Excuse me.
Remember what we believe in, and that's what Belle did.
No. Sure.
Céline, dear.
You need to do the same.
How are you feeling? I understand it might still be fresh wounds, but we had some time to talk. Are you alright?
No.
Understand.
If anyone should have died, it should have been someone who was actually being a liability during that time.
No one was a liability. You've all fought valiantly out there.
I know what was happening to me. Part of why you had to protect me so hard was because I couldn't fight properly.
Yeah, hey.
Despite that, though, you should not blame yourself first, because it was his choice.
Tired.
Believe me, what you're feeling, many of us have felt. I have felt that way. It is not unnatural. There have been times where I myself have lost comrades, where I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, it should have been me. It should have been me, not him. I understand that. Believe me, beating yourself up, breaking your own mind for it. It's not gonna bring him back. It's not gonna help anybody. If you need to cry, it is okay. If you need to mourn, I'm here for you.
Jumping in the water and catching him,
But Lumen needs to be strong now as a team.
Maybe you need to try the rod.
I would prefer the rod. You want to try the net mergers?
Oh, it's okay, not right now. I'll come up in a position a bit.
Dear, do you mind if I step close for a second?
If you wish to clean or
It's okay.
keep watch medically wise,
Okay.
Yeah.
keep track of everyone, you're free to do something. Just report any
I'm
problems
just
to me.
gonna go check on Yassi.
I understand things are rough. Understand that you worry after everything that happened.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Believe me,
In a bit. Free.
he would not want to see you like this now. He would not want to have this, what you're going through, be now. He would want for you to stay strong now. Stop crying and be a soldier. I've perceived Val myself as quite a brash and direct individual. But believe me, seeing you broken because of his death is something I can imagine he would not want.
I was honestly scared
Yes.
at times. I was finally starting to feel like he actually cared. I could see the things that were good.
These are
It's the
things.
same, or show any proper appreciation. The last thing I was to him was being a burden. That I had to be helped make it back to the ship just so that I could actually get on it.
I will join you.
I didn't talk to him
But
else
dear.
after that.
That's fair.
Even if you might consider yourself a burden, even if for a moment you might even give yourself truth and believe it, that does not does not mean you can't become better. Does not mean you can't improve as a person, as an individual, as a soldier. If you give up now, if you decide to now, I don't know, decide to say, screw it, once we arrive on land, I'll leave, then his death will become null and void. I understand it's hard to understand. But believe me, you will lose yourself now. And Val's death will be nothing more than just a memory. And believe me, from what I've seen of him,
Not many people have been actually saying it, but I can feel the way they've been looking at me since yesterday.
What do it look like?
perhaps, by the way things look, I have only seen it shortly. When you arrived on board, you were raving about wanting to turn and go back. Dear, would you want to talk about it? Kept on talking about the...
Just
Know that you, whatever happens, dear, you're not judged here. I'm here for you. Take it from someone who has had a lot of experience compared to a youngling like yourself. I'm here to listen, to help you guide if need be for the time that I remain here.
You have to go, Céline.
I
heard what you were saying to the Chancellor.
It is still something what I need to do. In the end, I am part of the Setting Sun. It is my faction, and I've worked with them for a long while. Even if Rosewood needs me right now financially as assistance for people like you, Emma, others, I still need to return for it as my duty. But it does not mean that the time I remain here will not be of service to any one of you. You need to talk. You need to talk about anything about your condition, about your understanding, your history. Know that my ears are open for all of you.
I just don't know where I can even try to figure out what it is. It doesn't feel like it's... If it was devouring, I'd probably already be dying.
It wasn't exactly the main focus.
I don't have lines on
Do you mind if I ask, dear? For how long did you have this feeling?
years. The hair is a more recent thing, but everything that came with it, the things that were causing the most problems, been years.
Work where? Where go?
It's just we don't know where we're going yet.
Where go?
I myself have never heard of such a condition itself. Never heard of somebody who had this strange hypnotic fascination with the rift. But believe me when I told you, if you remember, I am interested in them as well. Perhaps in a more strange manner, but I know your fascination with them.
At first it took a few weeks. Thankfully we're not. Looking at the map, thankfully it was updated. It's going off my old one.
Remember bits and pieces, at least.
Thankfully,
I was really out of it at the time, but I remember hearing you.
Dear, would you want to go below deck, get a little bit more quiet from everybody, discuss everything?
So hopefully no problems.
Sure.
By all means. Alec, Captain. I'm with you.
Anywhere in particular?
Perhaps with another bit of food and drink to calm the mind.
On the one hand, Asix would be nice because, familiar, but I think I want to see more stuff,
we were friends. Yeah.
I'd like to use this chance to go hear some food already prepared, but we haven't see the world we're saving.
I think that. I know he was my friend, and I think he.
More
he was my. I think I was his friend.
Not much, but use it sparingly.
Of course. Let me.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry for me. It's not me specifically. Just.
Oh dear. When it comes to things, tell me your story. Where did it all start for you?
The setting sun is in Fevira, right?
The setting sun, my dear, is everywhere. Our headquarters specifically is something that I've kept secret for the sake of it. But we are,
It's okay.
for lack of a better word, we are everywhere and nowhere. I understand that sometimes followers of Gaia have a little bit of a strange reputation for some people. That is why we try to keep ourselves close to the ground, no pun intended.
We grabbed a lot of Aethertech stuff. That's what Monty had us get.
But please do continue.
Either way, you are probably familiar then that besides the Blythewood, the
we got
next
Helia stuff.
worst place that
really
got
much in my
affected
ring
by
of keeping.
everything was the southwestern region of the continent. Naitanui.
You rabbit, right?
Yeah.
I
She's
have heard the news, yes.
Probably.
Where are you keeping them?
That's where I
I think
lived
Kiki has her
for
right now.
when all of that started.
Wherever Kiki's room is, hopefully not suffocating in a bag, but I'm
Believe me,
probably fine.
we both share a strange connection with you living there and me myself being of the Blythewoods. I've seen the first portals open myself. I understand how you feel.
One of the largest lakes there.
I mean,
in that
not
region.
the same Rosewood, but it's not like we're gonna stop,
That
right?
was
That'd be dumb.
where one of the
just gotta
settlements
find a
in the plains was situated.
Base, I guess, a new home.
Provide a lot of resources.
We'll set up. We
Fishing.
got everything we need. We got all the Avertech.
The
most of
forest
it, at least.
nearby. All of that. That same lake was
Where do we go? From here, I mean.
at the very bottom of it where a rift formed.
Some people like
Very similar to how it did here at Rosewood.
Does
Well,
the
said, like,
offer
wherever
still
Cecilia
stand?
is,
Or
somebody suggested
seems
Flens.
like-
Flens is blocked off.
I mean,
so
we're having a small conversation, but by all means, if, again, you're part of the same team, if you wish to open up about it with Rowan as well, I have no problem if you wish to.
Setting sun with Sinclair.
He's the
but,
first person I told at Rosewood.
Maybe.
Then please,
Thank
sit
you.
down with us.
Yeah.
Captain?
I was just
I came to bring news.
Swainpole's nice for his
Bean?
little time I spent there, but
Looking at my map,
remember there.
I was going after my old
but there-
prior knowledge of my old one.
That'd be a good
Thought it was
place,
gonna be
I
a few
guess, but
weeks,
it's
but
also-
thankfully so. The new map updated.
You've never been.
We're only 2 days away from a port.
Oh god.
That is
okay.
good.
Lots of plants.
I'm assuming it is the Eastern Fort Isles, or which one specifically?
Lots of.
It's a small island
sort of
of
normal. I don't know.
Fevira.
Not like here. It's very.
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't really take it. Yeah.
If that is the one, that I will be taking my leave to when the time comes. Again, I need to return to my own home when it comes to everything, but I appreciate it by all means, Captain.
Of course.
Hard for me to say, like.
For now, be comfortable. We have fish. Thankfully, we should get more supplies when we get there. But
When I
to
started
let the
having
students
While-
know.
my own, I sort of had
While I
probably won't
enjoy
be
it,
staying.
I'll let the students feed first. I understand.
my house. Oh well.
You will.
And I went to the
You better not
village and
leave
ended
without
up leaving
having a
me
drink
on
with
the
me
boat.
first. We have some tea.
But tea, maybe I'll take some rum. I do not mind. But until then, I wish to continue my conversation here, Captain, if you do not mind.
But like,
Yes, of course. Thank you for your time.
what do you mean?
Of course, as always.
Oh, and that was the boat that you took to get to here.
Please, Céline, my dear.
Oh no, that
Continue.
was what I took to get somewhere else.
That
was
lake.
about 8
It
years
wasn't
ago,
right when
maybe.
everything had started to happen. It was maybe a few
Yeah.
years
I kind of only
after
spent. I
the
I kinda only
advent
spent as much
of
time in
everything.
Swainpole as I needed to, because.
But it was
Well, I would.
8 years ago on a boat.
right.
Yeah, I think I was pretty young
Sorry.
then. Because I did that.
Please continue now. By all means.
Because
It
when I
was
left, right? So hard to remember sometimes.
very deep there. So
I.
any of the early warning signs, that sort of glow in miasma, it was too deep for anyone to see.
L for left.
I was
This one left.
there
and right,
at
just
the
right,
edge
so you know
of it
whichever one has the
when
L.
it opened.
Yeah.
And pretty much every day leading up to it,
Right?
however long
Yes,
that
I can
was.
read. Especially when it's like upright. It's hard.
It was where I did all my
different
magical
objects.
study,
No,
since
I-
it was the largest body of
So I
water
went to.
and
I
it
went
was
to. So yeah, I was at
apparent
Swainpole,
that I had a gift
where I
for
grew
the
up.
water.
Spent like a little bit of time there, and then I left.
That's where I'd
and,
be brought to
got
study
on
and
a-
practice.
What's it called? Well, because after I ran out
So,
of
from
food,
what
I
you're
had to go
saying is that your
look for more food.
condition was not something you
and,
had since
like, I
birth.
lived for a good couple months, like
Not
just
that
in a
I can
while,
tell.
I guess.
Granted,
really,
I'd never
yeah,
been near a
find
rift
a lot of good spots.
until that day.
So
Couldn't really
what
find a lot
day
of good
did you
spots
end
for
up
like.
And
at
even then,
that big
things didn't
party house
immediately
that called
happen.
Oh, you mean the manor?
It burst forth.
Yeah.
Not too long after, the beasts came out of it. And
I think that was
Everybody fled.
a couple years back now.
Those who could, at least.
I don't know where that manor was, is the thing, right? Because after I spent like that year or so in
the forest to break
away.
away.
In the forest around it, and then I eventually got to the docks.
That didn't last too long, though, because with how close that village was to the lake in general.
I then went
most of the people who got away came down with the devouring.
That kind of sucked. But I got food.
Nobody really knew what it was, though, at the time, because
They're just gonna let you sit in the barrel and scavenge.
there wasn't really much in the way of
Yeah.
news traveling
I was in the
between
barrel for at least, like,
settlements
12 hours.
there. People just knew about the rifts, but not
Yeah,
the other
I was in a barrel.
factors.
And I
So
popped out.
just trying to keep people alive and treat them through it.
And then they
And
the way how I see it, it could potentially be that your condition
I was like a kid.
could be due to longer exposed rift exposure, perhaps. Perhaps it is something that you're not the only one who is affected by
That was
it.
pretty good.
Dear, if you allow me,
That landed so
of course, only if you want to.
Some time there. At some
When I leave for
I
the
don't
setting
remember
sun,
when things happened exactly, right?
would
So
you
at
be
some point,
okay
I was in a
if I
city
tell people of your condition? I will not name you, I promise you that.
with a red mask.
But what you might have might other people as well.
I don't know where that mask went.
Potentially,
And
you
then-
might
and
be
then I-
onto something
At some
completely
point, I
new.
got on another boat, I think, and then I ended up
Something
finding that manor.
strangely
Maybe like 3 years
wonderful in a dark way.
how is this good?
I spent time
I've
there.
pretty much
The way how I see it,
fight
dear,
properly. I
if-
was just trying to get close to that thing.
Dear, that is the thing. Wouldn't be able to fight now. How long have you been... I know you've been dealing with it for a while, but for how long have you been trying to understand it, counteract it, find ways around it?
I keep hearing people say it, but I
Well,
And I don't mean it in the sense of smaller ones, but I mean understanding, going into research, having the capability to do so.
Hey, let's have fun.
not very long. I mean, I just thought I was going crazy. Every time I was... From when I tried to run away from that place. And hearing
Is your,
the whispers the first
did you
time.
see anything?
It pretty much became the only thing I interacted with for a long time.
We can
Trying to hear out everything.
It's pretty much any time I was trying to leave to go somewhere else.
There's a bunch of spots.
If I just kept walking, I'd be walking towards another one, and then another one, and then another one. And finally, I had enough. I finally made it to a port town. I tried... That's why I saw the news about what Rosewood had done. That's why I tried reaching out to Alea, see what would happen, if they understood anything, if this was something they knew about, and she didn't really answer much. She just had me come here. I figured she had a reason for it, but now I don't even know what that was. I can't ask her. She's gone too.
But there's one thing that even if Alea did not tell you this, she had a plan. She understood that you still had something in you to be selected. In the end, how I see it, Rosewood has had a lot of different variations of people coming from all walks of life. She's looked at you, and she's chosen you to be here. There's a reason for it. It's not just by sheer chance, and hearing what I've heard yesterday from Malik, it's starting to dawn on me that there might be a lot of things in motion that even I was unaware of.
I can feel the edge of the
This is information that people on board know. I know me, Octavian, Kingsley, I think Morgan were there when the informations were given, but I'm not sure if you're aware of it.
About who Alea
Alea Rosewood
You okay, sir?
was a prime.
I had heard.
Are you describing...
Understand that. A prime in themselves looked at you, your story, what you've sent, and has seen you in their presence, and despite everything, has accepted you. Understand that others might judge you. Others might look at you and think of you evil for whatever this magic might be.
Of course.
But Alea knew that there was more to you. I would like to ask you, do you think that after everything that the people have done for you when it comes to Alea and Val, do you wish to just throw that all away?
Yeah.
No.
Do you think we could just speak for a moment? Or, yeah, go on to.
I don't know how they would be able to look at it and think it's anything but even more
What there's two of
dangerous
us that
than
need to
the
talk,
other
I guess, and then there's
around.
more people sitting here. So
It's not the
That,
same
my
as
dear,
choosing to do anything.
But seeing as I'm
that is also a thing.
incapacitated at the moment, I
Didn't have a choice, from what I've understood. This was given to you, laid into your lap without any sense of concern.
Like lead, like captain.
The way how I see it, I think there are still people around you who understand that you might have this condition, something that you have no choice about. I feel like now more than ever,
Yeah.
we should be there to support you.
be ready in case I
What do you say, Rowan?
won't be able to do so.
You'll be ready.
I agree that this is something that you have no fault of. This is not something that you have
We
any...
had several people go
It's
blind
not on
and
you.
then they got better. So I think
We had a previous student
Yeah.
who had similar but different condition.
I mean, of course, I'm not saying that
I won't name any names,
He lost his eyeball and then he got
but
abused by
they had a
one.
severe reaction to the rifts and occult magic as well.
You'll be ready, right? When you're ready, you'll take this back.
I don't have the full details. I was only beginning to start looking into it when they had to leave the academy. But
Okay. Now
I understand.
I guess the thing is I don't... Just confusing, I guess.
It is confusing.
again.
And that is why I also think, when I look at you, I see not just as a soldier, but I also see you as someone who is in the perfect position to be the spearhead of the new types of research, to help people understand this condition, to make people understand that this is not just something that is to be treated lightly.
Man, what a great honor.
But it's also
Ron,
not a
thank you
curse.
so much. I just want to say, like, I really appreciate it.
I mean, you saw what's going on inside of me
Is there anyone you
better
want to
than
thank for
anyone
this
else.
momentous occasion?
Some merit to that.
I did.
I don't know, that's great.
Malik. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm just.
I was just coming to inform
So you gotta look forward.
Captain
Ron
that
sitting here.
the body has been properly wrapped and exsanguinated.
Yep. I needed to ask you.
Thank you, sir.
Area.
Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
But as to
No
your
rush.
comments,
Take your time.
I do believe
life force on
that
him by giving me this. That's right.
this is perhaps
Can't believe
best
you-
described as a
Can't believe you
curse.
absorbed him into your own.
It is
You absorbed to the
an
throne.
unfortunate malediction that she has no control over.
You've absorbed all of his strengths and his weaknesses. One of them being
It
blindness.
is not something that should even exist,
hope not.
but
I understand.
it does.
Fundamental.
Don't worry, LeFron.
Pricking your finger.
And unfortunately, she is the one that must suffer through it.
I don't know what I'm gonna do
I'm
with
not
this.
really magically inclined.
I guess I'll just.
It is not fair,
About this
but
kind of stuff I was told I could ask you about a book.
Tell us what to do with it.
it does her no favors, I think, to
Yeah, we brought a couple of.
dampen
Guess so.
the severity of the situation.
Which would be heavily influenced by.
Severity of the situation, Malik, is that this girl has been given something that is
It's like I know I've worn
what
it,
you
like,
describe as a curse, yes, but something that,
before, but, like, yeah.
with the right research and
How do you go?
understanding, can perhaps be turned into something beneficial for her.
Oh yeah, I guess I've worn it once, but I was.
To call it a curse now might be accurate, but I see it might be a future blessing in disguise.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. However, it is good not to give up hope, I
Congrats
think.
for now. Once he comes back, I'm taking my congrats back too. So, there you go.
That's okay.
Honestly, that is all we can do. Not giving up hope and thinking of the most positive way possible.
Man.
Even the future might be grim, especially with the loss of your captain.
Yeah.
It does not matter, and it does not help to be broken about it now.
Man. How are you two feeling?
It's bound to happen eventually to one of
Didn't
us.
get much sleep now. It's catching up to me.
I just figured it was going to be myself before anyone else.
I also hurt all over.
Given how things are going.
No,
What?
it was not
I also
yourself.
hurt all over.
Consider yourself happy
I
about that
thought you said
despite
you hurt
everything.
Oliver.
Because you get to have the chance to live the life that you want.
Oliver's.
Fight the way you want.
I got worried for Oliver
No
for a
one,
second.
Oliver?
And if
No, that's
push
why I
comes
got
to
worried.
shove in the future, to be as blunt and realistic as possible, die the way you want. The same way Val chose to have this way.
Another cousin of yours?
Oliver, twist. No.
He knew the risks.
Unrelated. He was a poor boy. I was asking for food. Saw a man chase him down once because he asked for food. It was
As
crazy.
to your
Gave him
original
a piece of my bread.
comment, before we make port, if
It's the
that's
end of
where
that,
you're going to
really.
be
I have no
going
other
your separate
stories
ways, I
about
can
see him running around.
write for
for
you
food.
Like a Droza story,
everything I know about
Yeah. Story of Oliver
what I
Twist.
can remember what has
I
happened
would
with it.
appreciate all the information you can give me. We'll assist in our own research if this is something that can be made into a blessing.
Just
I want other people who have the same condition to have that chance as well.
if you find anything wherever we end up, please find some way that I can find out. I don't want to worry about the biggest enemy that we're supposed to be facing being something that I can't look at without having to fight something that wants me to look
Yeah,
at it
thanks.
as
It should be fine. I think,
something
shouldn't make much
practically
things
like
if I'm-
family.
You know, I don't know how long it's going to take LeFron to be able to see again.
Being able to see again.
I may still give you the advice, despite everything.
I mean, he could get.
Even the smallest ways to counteract such things will be beneficial in your case.
You could also just get healed, right?
Whether it be a change of
Wounds, maybe.
mindset, potentially smaller things such as meditation, anything to help you calm the mind, and perhaps breathing techniques, thinking of things, trying to not block out the voices, but listen to them and filter them.
You can ask him. I feel
Sure,
like it's one
Ronald.
of those things that need to be modified, or he has to figure out
I would take
a way.
And if there might ever be a time when things will be too complicated or too hard, know that you are not alone. You're still part of Team Lumen. Have the entirety of Rosewood supporting you as a student. And believe me, dear, if our paths ever cross again after everything, you know that I have your back as well.
You see something?
Oh, just
Thanks. Zuko, do you need something?
Hello.
Can we help you, Zuko?
Oh man.
I'm just checking on people.
We are so far doing as best as we can despite the situations and the news that we received.
What?
I'm assuming you're aware as well.
And so they
Good.
leadership
I'm not
over
LeFron.
meditation.
You're fake.
I'd say,
That's what you think now.
if I hope, I know you've made yourself comfortable with seating, but I hope you understand that this is a still a private discussion that we want to
So
continue.
LeBron is blind.
I apologize if we
That happened yesterday.
might seem unwelcoming, but it's not against
and
you.
so
Again,
today,
this is a
LeBron said
conversation they want to
probably
have with
the
Lumen
best
Team.
leader, being blind and all.
Check up a few
So I gave
later.
leadership
Zuko.
over to Mitesh.
And temporarily.
Sure. Temporarily.
Alright.
Sorry.
So that's Mitesh. It's not LeBron.
I'm Mitesh. No, it's been Mitesh this entire
It will
time.
not be easy, dear.
But that's okay.
But know that we're all here for you.
Wasn't expecting it to be. After all, I'm pretty
You can
sure
call me
Professor
Furious if
Octavian's
you
going
want, I
to
don't mind.
Really?
lay into me the second
Yeah,
he
why would I care?
recovers enough from
Well, I don't know if
it to do so.
get funny about their names, but I guess.
No, I don't care.
He
Tell
didn't
me
sound
whatever.
too happy. On the boat last
Octavian is a hard ass and a man through and through to his beliefs and understandings of these things that he can, well, might consider as curses.
I don't know where he went.
But
I think he wandered off blind somewhere.
believe
I'll go
me,
check on him, but he'll get better.
from what I've talked with him, he still wants the best for all of you. Only advice I can say is take a deep breath, take it on the chin, keep walking.
Sure, okay. Wait,
yeah.
Here?
Mate.
Okay.
Though Octavian may come off as a harsh authoritarian, Sinclair is right. He does have the soldier's best interest in mind. And I imagine when he comes to speak to you, it will not be out of rage. It will be out of concern.
I don't remember being called for
Just
attack.
how he
I guess that
showcases
makes
this
sense.
might be a little rougher than most would. So whatever he says, I would not take it personally.
Chandler. Can't tell Chandler.
Who's Chandelier?
I'll try.
I know, he's talking about the
See it
Chancellor.
from this side, dear. Even if you might be taking it personal, even if you might say things that be taken personal, and if he is being more rougher around the edges towards you, you always have the chance to prove him wrong next time.
As much as I hope there isn't a next time, I know that's foolhardy to presume otherwise. We as an institution are
Again, Mother.
training to fight the rifts. Not find them beautiful or
All clear, Matarasi.
comforting or something else maladaptive. Even if that's everything I felt, and admittedly, even though I knew that I shouldn't, every strike against the Rift Beast hurt a little inside. And that's the part that scares me, is that I don't know if that's just normal feeling,
you blind
or
wanted
it's
back
trying to
source.
make me feel that way.
Or you were gone. You were gone for so long. I may have started telling people you wandered off blind. But
That
you're back.
is,
Anyway,
in turn, what I am
don't worry about
requesting
it.
of you.
Do
Do not move away from this chance that you have. To be in this position, to have this curse that Malik says. Like I said, you can bring so much information to the world. I dare say you find yourself in an even brighter position to educate all of us than people like Octavian, Malik, or Bombadil could ever do.
Nothing can be done. I've already emptied my tears.
I would still require them to look at something that is objectively evil to the vast majority of the world as somehow something that can be good. It literally eats at me. Makes it so that I devour everything else. I'm...
No, yeah.
In a way, it's like I don't have the devouring, I am it.
Lots of options to learn, how to see again.
Believe me, dear, even if our conditions might be different, I know what it means to have something
Could ask a goddess to bless
that
you.
the greater public that sees evil something disgusting and innately wrong.
I'm not exactly. I don't know if that's something.
It is something that I do not tell a lot of people out of obvious reasons. But I trust Lumen that they will keep it under wraps for the sense of the greater public.
No.
Other the simple request that I've helped you a lot.
He'd like a big stick.
I, Sinclair Dano,
So it'd be like, ooh, I hit the rock.
am an occult user.
You know, or ooh, I hit a tree, and it's like. I don't think a big stick is.
I am part of the many who have this ability and is looked upon with disgust.
I don't think.
And yet I try my best to walk a path
No, give it a shot.
to
Scream real quick.
give people light despite my condition.
Why?
And of course other people who have found themselves in darker paths a chance out and to live a life that they want to live. I understand that with this information your point of view might have changed on me, and I understand that fully. That goes to both of you. But I at least want you to understand
Louder? Like I don't.
that I understand.
Like a higher pitch.
It has changed.
A higher.
More of a... At least...
What'd you see?
You know what it feels like then.
Nothing. This is the most painful experience I've had. in mentally speaking.
Alright, try going lower.
Also,
I hope at
explains
least
why it
that
doesn't
even if this...
rattle you as
That's
much
a
as
scream.
I'd imagine someone from the setting sun would.
Oh. Ah.
I'll be very honest with you, some of my colleagues would look at you and consider you a freak. I will be very blunt with you. But I know so many more
I don't think that's going
who see
Like
you,
what a dolphin do.
and they would want to reach out their hand just as much as I do.
I'm not a dolphin.
I've only been,
Like,
I've only been aware of this for like maybe a week and a half. He can tell you all about it. He's pretty much been getting a play-by-play.
I know they do. They go.
Just how far the extent of it goes.
I'm not doing
I've known about the voices. I've known about the feeling of just being drawn. I didn't know anything about my magic being
you could do that.
eaten away from me, turned into something that
But wait, maybe it
devours
works, like,
instead
for all
of
we know, like if we push you
protects.
above, like off the ship right now, right?
didn't
and you were
know
to land
that.
in the water, it might like
Be near a rift
that
would
works
basically
underwater,
make me
right? Well,
look like Luna right now.
Rope to you first. Obviously.
I want.
I don't know if this is going to spread further, if this is going to go
You
away.
know, we have a rope attached to you. You think you're drowning?
It doesn't
we'll pull you
have to
out.
hide it
We'll
somehow.
put it around your neck so that way you're safe above water. My legs.
We'll put it on your horn.
stone.
Because you might understand.
No.
No,
The
no,
only
no,
person
no,
who
no,
understands,
no,
there'll be thousands who
keep you above
don't.
water.
That's going to your horn.
That's going to.
I'll wrap it
But
around
it
your
is
horn.
important for the people that do understand to keep them close to you. They should trust you, much as you trust them. Believe me, if the knowledge of me being an occult user becomes public, do you know what kind of an effect that would have for this greater setting of the setting sun? That one of the tacticians is cursed, quote-unquote, with such a burden.
Sorry, I was about to go down that route further.
As a diplomat, as someone who's an investor who comes around towards different places, Fevira,
I mean, I
Palvendor,
saw just how
Droza.
well the world treated us. The news,
Vibrations.
we had people who knew how to
Vibrations?
cast it and
Oh,
were our
yes,
ranks
you
too.
do, you do over. Yeah,
I don't want
vibrations
that to
and
happen
shit.
to anyone
And that
else.
should,
Just hit things and then hear where they are.
Yes,
Like
Talia.
and that should be even more of a sign. Oh,
I'm terribly
I'll
sorry
tell
to
you.
interrupt.
Did know a man who
And
he
for your
was
loss.
and he got around. Well, first
two
he was
of you weren't
stick,
at the
but then he
school.
tried doing like
Do you know what
some
happened the
magic
day
shit,
before you returned?
and he
the day you
he-
were on the
he-
mission?
He learned that he could like put like a vibration through the ground.
They were
and
on the
like it would
mission.
like kind of like reverberate all
Not
over it, and then
directly, I
he
mean when
could,
we were
like,
off in
see
Linvale, or...
what those vibrations
When
Or
you
the
were
day
in
before
Linvale
that.
day.
what quote unquote see.
No, I've not
Something
really been
happened.
informed.
We did. I
Give me
did
that.
hear
Oh, there's a
about what
table
happened
over
to
there.
Right, it
Alea.
That is
Is
not a
that what
bad
you're
idea.
referring to?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, we both know.
You also like
I was there when Malik broke the news.
Because you'll hear his name was Toph.
That's all that I wanted to tell people. I've realized that a few people don't know.
I have to continue my
Like I
story.
said.
Yes,
That
no.
was valid.
I'm terribly sorry for your
There's no
loss.
backtracking on storytelling. Yeah, anyways, yeah, we could throw rocks. We calculate how fast your rock throwing speed is.
No, so what we
And
do is
then
it's like
Ah,
you
dear.
drop a rock down a
When you
well,
hear
The
and then it goes
understanding
like
that Alea Rosewood prime, dear. On one hand, I want to listen tell the setting sun about this, but on the other hand, I worry if these news break of a prime being dead. It's
What does that mean?
I'll get you for my sound effects next time, okay? So
It's not like
so
they can
maybe
just
like
replace
that,
a
like,
prime,
with rocks,
can
that way
they?
you like, there's someone approaching, throw a rock, wait till you hear them swing because the rock hit him in the
the
head.
primes are people that have a strong connection to a divine bloodline, going down way past everything, even to the from some of the stuff if I remember, and my own knowledge might be a little spotty, but even down to the creation of this realm itself. The fact that the idea of someone like a prime is past will still be heavy news for the world.
This tough person that you mentioned.
Yep.
The vibrations.
Yep.
I did bring
Apparently we have something of hers that, or rather, something she made.
That's on the island, so.
I don't know if
Is there
that will
something in the
have any ability to.
related?
I don't know if
There
that's
should be
something that you
has to
can
be
just change, but apparently she was able to create
Terrace.
life from seemingly nothing.
That is
And an example of that is something we brought back.
What? That being specifically what?
The rabbit that Murtash is taking care
I would
of.
need him to
Apparently,
understand my earth magic.
according to Malik, he saw her just create it.
Okay.
Distracted. What are we talking about?
We're not kidding.
Oh yeah.
That was something she was capable of
Yeah,
doing.
no, Terrace is bad. Yeah, no.
Not the only thing that
Let's
is like
talking
a
about the rabbit.
so,
Much about that. I know a little bit.
and
Talking about the rabbit.
that's
Right
if
back.
there's anything that would figure out if she's actually dead or something else happened. That could be the only connection to her signature
Like, do
that
you,
we
can
have
you
left.
feel how long the like if I go knock knock, you feel it? Can you feel how long the table is, or you do? Yeah,
Might
you're
be
right.
something to
Might
ask.
potentially be that.
That'd be something to ask Malik about, though.
Alright, so we're leaning more towards echo.
Despite my ability to use divine, it would be nowhere within my ability to even attempt to try to understand how
I
to
can do that. Gilla.
read the essence of people.
Well, if you don't want to scream, we can
Try to
like
find
get you
them.
like a instrument,
Make sense of any of that.
like a drum.
It's kind of cruel in a way that I
Overall.
can use
I don't
divine
know
in
if
the
that's-
first place, given
Well, then how am I supposed to, you know,
it's the only thing that
If I'm
doesn't
in
get
battle,
affected
then-
by my
if I
condition.
can even go that far? How am I supposed to do anything else if I just hold a drum?
I only know water magic otherwise, but
Well, we put the drum on
the
your
one
back,
spell
and
that
we
I
put
have
little
that is
stones in it,
divine in
so when
nature.
you're charging forward, it'll be like.
You can't touch that.
Not.
So,
Not
least not
exactly
if I might
Yes.
ask and inquire, how does your magic actually? How is your magic affected by your condition?
From
we can make another.
From what I can presume, based off what Malik told me when he had looked into my
Anyway, Ophelia, how's all your
self with
equipment
his
doing?
magic,
Great what we could, they all work fine. You able to check?
he said that I had more than one affinity, but it was not exactly two distinct ones. It was like everything from the abyssal wells trying to creep up and consume
testing something.
what was above it. And the more that the condition was, the more less there was of my water, and the more there was of the abyssal. But no matter how I try to use the same incantations, the same gestures, even the same runes with my own blood on the blade, the second that it begins to happen, no matter where I try to pull my mana from,
At least I can imagine
what comes out is abyssal magic. All of it looking as sickly black and purple as
Hold these.
a rift does.
Hold these.
Even a spell that I had just learned was affected by it.
Alright.
It wasn't something that I had already known and had had for a long time. But it feels just as natural and normal as if I had always been casting it that way.
I don't feel it anymore.
I apologize, Rowan. Please, can you?
Yes.
Were you born with
Knock.
an aqua affinity, or did you?
No.
This is not a good idea. Never mind.
There's
now.
the place that I lived, and the way that my parents were. If I had been born with an occult affinity, they probably would have.
No, aqua affinity.
Aqua affinity. Okay. Yes. It runs in the family. It's something that my mother had.
You're welcome.
And her mother before her. Seems to mostly run on the female side of the family, at least.
Right up my test, see.
But of course, just because I had the affinity for it didn't mean that I
got really
could
confused for a second. I meant
make use of it easily, but
They look similar.
Like, I know, I just
I had to practice.
They are very
That doesn't
similar
make me
in stature.
The largest places of water I could to draw upon, so I wasn't
They all both
causing resonance backlash on myself. And
We're completely different.
They both have hair.
They both
I
have
don't
hairs.
know how long that rift was there forming below the surface.
A decent chunk of their
They
body is
have,
covered in
No
skin.
one knew.
Hands?
Why are
They
you
both had
eating
hands.
this?
Like, maybe if I were to look back, I could see the
Um,
signs now that I knew, now that I was aware of it, but when you
They both have
don't know
eyeballs.
that you should be looking for it,
One's broken, but they
It's
both
easy
have
to
eyeballs.
ignore.
I'm going to stumble my way to the front. That table's there.
Their only fear is that
The
from
front's
having
this
been
way.
so
Okay.
close to
I'm
it
going
for
to
so
work
long and
I'm going to...
Alright.
drawing in mana in such a way that is something akin to your a part of your own soul,
He's gonna make it.
that something came in with it. I don't really know how true it is. It's not like I can easily study it.
I think you fell.
You might
Most
be able to.
the biggest example of seeing what happened was because of the rift. The second that he was there actually, you saw it happen on the ship. Pretty much the second we passed through the barrier from the outside into the academy, this happened. Not just the usual strands, but more of them blackened, and some of them even began to resonate with the environment. The second we were close enough. And the second I did, a spell that I had set up with my own blood, like I used those runes that I was taught, it was already active. And even that, with it already active and not even being channeled by myself, it was just my blood. Even that turned abyssal. Because of the way it was working, I couldn't just stop casting. It was already there. That's why I was using it the whole time like that, because at that point, I'd already committed. And if I didn't, I would have been unable to fight at all. Because I needed something that would deal magical damage to those things.
Yeah.
And all the while, even while I'm fighting, I just hear things telling me that I'm doing such a good job that that everything's gonna be okay. At one point he even said that it missed me. That was when I had to run right by it. When it became apparent that we were pretty much preparing to leave. Until we finally set sail. Have you ever heard a rift cry? It literally sounded like it was crying that I was leaving. That's why I was probably so desperate to go back to it.
Gaia, protect us. That does not.
Oh
dear, that sounds...
I don't wish that kind of hell on anybody. Because everything in my body knew that it was not okay. That I shouldn't have been feeling that way. And yet, in that moment that you had to run back and come get me, even though I was scared, the only thing I could feel was just happy. I felt safe. At no point did I feel like I was in danger, even with those things attacking me. I just felt sad. Like the same way I feel sad whenever members of our own team were arguing with each other and at each other's throats over things.
God. Oh dear.
That's why
May I give a recommendation?
That's why I feel like I let him down. Because all those hits he was having to take from me was because my heart wasn't really in it. I didn't want to fight something that felt like that was trying to make me feel safe, even though it wasn't. There's so many contradictions.
And I see it from the side that if you know that you are not having your heart in it, then what is stopping you from trying to fix now? It does not happen again with anybody else.
That's the only thing I can tell myself at this point. The only excuse I can make is because I didn't know it would be this bad. That hopefully this is the worst it ever is, but I can't promise myself that it is. I mean, look at how much white there is left. What if it gets to a point where there isn't any? What if it's just not the hair? What if there's other parts of me that practically look like they've been... They look no different than the things that come out of the rifts.
Do not think too deep into the future. The one who thinks too deep about the future loses sight of the present. Does the sapling worry about the winter when the leaves fall? No. Worries about the spring when it grows. Take your time with it. These are thoughts that might cloud your mind now because it's so recent. But if you think about this now, you're already giving yourself your own toxin, your own thing that completely clouds you from progress.
You're right.
I understand. Don't worry. I want to help you as much as I can, despite... I would not need to go back home to my HQ. I would love to stay. I would love to help you, dear. All the advice that I can give you is one, stay strong. Talk your team.
It's okay. They
Two.
need you. They need to know what happened. They need to know
They will,
that
because it is necessary.
The rules, everything we know may have changed anyways. Because based off all the knowledge we had, this should not have happened. Which means there's something going on that
We have things.
we don't have account for yet.
When I told you I was fascinated with the rifts myself, it's not the same way as your condition might point yourself. The reason why I am fascinated with them is why on one hand people will see them as what they are, they're evil signs, they should be stopped, and I agree fully with them, do not get me wrong. I also look at them and think that there might be something bigger going on, something larger than just the rifts in itself. To me, when you say you hear the rifts crying, I feel the same way, except that I don't hear the rifts crying. I hear Gaia cry, scream in pain every time a new rift opens. Every single time, no matter where it is. The closer I am to an opening, the louder the screams. During the night, it might just be a small yelp or a small whimper when a rift opens. But sometimes, especially when the last one opened, it was like
agony.
It was like she was getting murdered right in front of my eyes. That is why I'm fascinated with them. Not because of Gaia's pain, but because what else it could imply for a lot of things in this world. Because if Gaia screams, the own realm that we walk on screams in agony as they open. It means there are things happening that are even of us right now.
And even things are happening. A rift implies that it's opening to somewhere else. What's happening over there? Is there something happening that is equally bad? What even is the other side? And if so, why do I hear it? Why does it say anything to me? Why does it act like I don't belong here? As if I were to go off everything it tells me, then I should, next time I see one, just jump in and see what happens on the other side. That's what it wants, if I were to believe it.
It is a risk. It is an option, yes. But believe me, I know someone who has closely worked together when it comes to understanding Rift. He was the one who sent me the research papers, who I then gave to the people here in Rosewood. My friend who worked with the Sentinel Academy was the one who, I think he worked on the number of over 167 rifts. He has studied them. And he was the one to find out the correlation between the aetherite crystals and the opening of the rifts. You know what happened to him? He's also been taken by the Devouring. So if you wish to take that risk for yourself, if you think that one day you might look at yourself and say, maybe I should take the plunge, do so. But understand one thing. If you do, look at your team. Look at everybody else at the academy. You're leaving that behind. And believe me, you're a good person. You will leave them in the same state that Val has left you in right now.
You guys are the only ones I have, anyways. The only thing that I would get from that is, well, seeing everyone that got devoured before me. Probably apologize to Dad for having to put a sword through his chest. Maybe he would have said thank you. I don't know
like
why
I've
I
said
was the
myself,
only
I
one who
understand.
didn't get it. With how close I was to it yesterday, I honestly have no right to not have it now. I don't know if it's trying to protect me, and if so, why?
It is something that might be hard to understand, Céline, my dear. I say this from the bottom of my heart. Please stop talking about the fact that, no, it could have taken you as well. I shouldn't be. Please. Everybody else wants you here despite it all because of the student that you are and the future that you have and the knowledge that you can provide. Even if it's hard. Believe me, I have lost multiple people to the rifts. One of them is my own husband, and he somewhere still stalks the Blythewoods. It is not something that I would want for anybody to go through. And I'm very, despite what you may say otherwise, happy that you are still alive.
Even after everything you've heard. I mean, I pretty much heard it myself when people first found out. They were horrified that it was even a thing that was possible. Being something that is a surprise or new to a medical professional in this way, it's not the kind of legacy you want to have or an impression you have.
That is true. But as every time a new illness
think of me.
Go on.
I'm scared of everything. The people around me think if they feel they can even trust me to watch their back, or if I'm going to just turn on them for some reason.
I'll ask you this, Céline. You have so far had some time to speak with the people in this academy, to speak with your own team members of Lumen. With the presence of Rowan in mind, yes. But do you think, looking at everybody in your team specifically, if they would know the knowledge that they have about you, that you're telling me right now, do you think they would stab you in the back? Answer me honestly.
Out of the ones that are here and still alive, there's one that I honestly wasn't sure about, given their overall opinion on the occult in general. And yet yesterday they just seemed more worried about if I was okay or not. I still don't know what to think about them. I want them to believe that I am here because I want to do something good for the world. But I don't know if my existence is anathema to their own ideals or not. I know my existence scares Rowan. Not scared of me, he's scared of what I represent and what that implies. And Aaron is Aaron.
But, despite it all, from the stuff that you've just told me, even with what Rowan might think about your condition, you believe that none of them would backstab you, or kill you when you least expect it?
I'd like to believe that, at least. With what we saw yesterday. What good does it do? I'm not the source of the rifts. As if it was, then I feel like I would have known by now. I have no power over them.
The way...
If this is something you're worried about, Céline, my honest opinion, I think you and Vespa need to have a chat. Everything's out of the bag at this point now. I think he's understanding enough that if you explain everything you told to me, that this is entirely new to you. It only appeared when occult mages showed up and started thrashing about with it. He's an understanding individual. Zealotous, yes. But...
the only thing is, from some of the professors that were aware of this, they feel that one of the ways to try to combat being forced and not being able to control it is to have to nurture it briefly. Make it so that it becomes something that can be done with intent. With the hope that with intent becomes the ability to then pull back.
That's similar to what Zuko told me.
And it is the advice that I can only echo, because it's the way that I found a way to control my own occult magic itself. Believe me, when I first found out about this affinity that I have, I was distraught, angry at myself. And believe me, I wanted to do a lot worse because I knew what it would imply. But I kept on going through it. I understood it. I tried to learn with and live with it.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm telling you this because I trust you. I trust you as well, Rowan, despite everything. I understand that such knowledge on occult is a heavy topic. But I'm saying this specifically because I'm telling you to. Please don't give up, Céline. Believe me, despite everything, you have a bright future ahead of you. Even if it might seem dark now. And even if your opinions might have shifted a little bit with me telling you. Take it from someone who has lived this affinity for way, way, way longer than you have for now. It might not get better, but you will understand it, and you will live with it.
Yeah. It's not like there's a way to just remove it.
Perhaps there is a way, but that is something that needs to be discovered. And potentially you might be one of the people to find out. The only thing you can do is keep moving. Again, like like I said, despite everything, I see that you are in a position that is quite fortuitous for anyone else. You're able to have contact with impressive individuals who understand a lot of things when it comes to the rifts, magic, and other sorts of medicine that might be required. You are, yes, cursed, perhaps, as Malik said, but you are also in the prime position to turn this curse into a blessing. All you need to do is trust in yourself, trust in your capabilities, and even if it's, by Gaia, if it's hard, believe me, find some trust in others.
I've been trying that, at least. I mean, at this point, it's not that huge of a secret anymore. I mean, it's hard to pretend that people didn't see me casting third circle magic with it. They know what they saw. At this point, any effort to try to pretend that they don't know is just being more delusional than anything else. I just hope that they'll understand.
That is all you can hope for.
That's why my opinion
And even
of
if
you
they do
hasn't
not,
changed, because you're at least trying to hear what I say and understand it for the truth that I am trying to put into it.
and believe me, dear,
I would have no
my opinion
reason
about
to
you
make
has
it
not
up.
changed. Well, I see in front of me a young lady who had a very unfortunate event happening in her life, but is now at a crossroads to make the best or worst out of it. And honestly, the way how I've experienced you, dear, things will get better. You're smart. You know your way around with magic. And even if things might look down and depressing now, I can tell you, and let's say in a month or so, I'm sure you have a different view on a lot of things. It will just take time.
I suppose that'll really depend on where we end up after this. I don't think anyone had a plan in mind about a life after that island. At least not one so soon.
Add 8 months to a year.
Yeah.
And what? 2 weeks? We actually had.
Yeah.
If even.
Pretty big difference.
I don't know about any of this, to be honest. I'm very lost at a lot of these things.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm
terrifying.
living it, and I don't feel any more assured of...
I appreciate the attempt to cheer me up.
I know that we have been talking for a while, Céline, but I hope you do not mind. If you wish to still keep us company, but... Rowan, I know you came to me as well to talk about yourself.
I feel
free
like
to if you want to.
I owe a couple people some conversations. I saw them kind of wander nearby and then see what was going on and leave. I feel like they're
understand.
probably looking for me.
Dear, but do me a favor. Please, even if they might treat you disrespect after everything that happened, please, this is me telling you, and I beg of you, do not lose yourself and your own trust within yourself. In the end, you yourself is the person that will stick with you for the rest of your life.
I understand.
Stay proud. Stay loyal to yourself. Most do.
God, this is such great acting. I love the people here at this RP. Like, this is just raw.
Wake up and awkward.
I was too scared to talk to him. I thought they were a dead ghost woman the entire time, so...
I mean, the wrist suddenly open and take that as bait.
Sweet.
It was extremely big.
I mean,
And even then, you have to take into consideration how you're gonna bring that onto the boat.
Want to call?
Exactly. A line will not be good enough.
No.
How are you holding up, Patches?
You need multiple people. Yeah. And also, you don't have to have be a No.
Okay.
That's a very bad idea. It is winter, and the ocean is very, very cold.
It's alright.
You do not want to be in the ocean. You are liable to die of hypothermia if you are in the ocean. You are liable to die of hypothermia at any time of the year. Even more so at this time.
Like wherever we're going,
Wager would be capable of something like a tank.
I'm sure we can find materials. I also.
And if I was someone and I found out there were a group dedicated entirely to shutting me
hold on,
up,
wait. Hold on, come here, go, quiet, come here.
Was that?
Before they could do much.
You like fish?
Somehow like communicate. I'm not sure if you heard it,
but
there were
that'll be our
voices
investment.
coming
That'll
from
be our
it.
basement investment.
They were using our voices from.
Heard my name a few times, remember?
Stripes?
Yeah. See, the thing is, that was just kind of
It's not the same. Yeah. Everything okay for you?
Could be better.
Isn't that the truth?
I see that you're still feeling the effects of this thing.
Yeah, given how close I got to everything, it's no surprise it hasn't faded yet.
right. Did you mind if I ask you about it? If you don't want to say anything,
No,
I'll keep
it's...
quiet.
You're on the same team. It's... Now that the severity of it is obvious, it's... I mean, it's not like... You know what you saw. You don't have to pretend.
Well, I did see one of your spells. One on your sword, the water one.
Yeah.
Was interesting.
That wasn't
That's
water.
not the word for it, but it's the word I'm going to be using.
At that point, it wasn't water. Well, I should say it was, until we crossed into the barrier, and then it turned into what you saw. Aside from that divine magic spell that I knew, the same happened to everything else that I was casting. I was not casting it any differently. I was not drawing from any different source of energy, and yet it was not water magic that came out. Just be direct with it. That was all. It was all abyssal.
Gray? Gray?
I appreciate the directness. I would have been rather angry if you had tried to
No, staying
downplay it.
Not here.
The only thing that was known, a few of us only knew about it, about that being something that could happen, maybe about at most a week ago. It was as much a surprise to myself as anyone else. The only thing I can tell you about what I know of what's going on, it was described like an allergy, a sickness. It's
gone forever.
in a way, maybe yes, you could look at it that way, but the way
Me not to believe.
Chancellor put it, he looked at me when something was happening after that day that Aqua did that ritual to save Rom. That was the first time anything had happened with it. When people noticed parts of my hair were black when they were supposed to be white. He looked at... That was the first time something had happened. I don't remember when it did, but he looked in me with his magic, and he saw two affinities there, but they weren't distinct. There was the water affinity, and there was the affinity that he saw as abyssal, but they were not separate things within me. They were overlapping, and in that moment, it looked like
Thanks you for
the abyss was trying to swallow the rest of it. And it was at that time when he tried to have me cast every spell that I knew, and he was able to confirm that it was the exact same incantation, every motion identical.
Céline, this might seem a bit rude. I need you to stop for a moment. I need to go check on something, but I'll be right back. I apologize profusely.
It's okay. Well, this is going better than I thought it would. At least his sword is still on his hip.
here.
What? I'm gonna stretch my legs.
I was doing that too. Actually, Italian.
Are you looking for somebody in Amaterasu? Are you looking for somebody in Amaterasu?
Okay.
Who?
You seen Gray Fox?
Gray Fox. Last time I saw them, they were up on the deck with Patches.
Me searches. Thanks you. If she tell me needs speak.
Okay. I'll keep an eye
Thanks
out.
you.
How are you feeling?
Worried, confused. I have a lot to think about.
Apologize, Céline.
You're good.
I apologize.
Whatever you checked on was okay.
Yes. Listen. I think I understand the gist of it. Can't the Chancellor corroborate what you said regarding the affinities and one of them trying to eat the other?
Yes, he was the one who looked into it. If you ask and say that I was... that... If you let him know that I said that...
It's fine.
He could tell you what he knows of it, then... You're free to ask him.
I doubt he would care to lie. So, don't worry about it. I believe you, then. It sounds like some sort of sickness. A sickness of a different kind than that. How long have you suffered, then?
If it... based off me assuming that it is connected to other things I've experienced, the aspect of my magic being messed with it is a new development. That basically being in the same amount of time that I've known you guys. But things related to it, I've had that problem for years.
Okay.
You remember
It sounds to me
the way how I kept getting disoriented anytime we were going remotely near the rift while we were fighting. How Octavian pretty much said that you needed to take my spot because he didn't want me going anywhere remotely close to that direction. Granted, he knows just as much as most others did. He was just going off what he saw.
Right.
The entire time that we were there fighting, I was fighting a second battle that no one could see or even hear. Because the entire time, I was having to fight things that were trying to talk to me. Coming from it.
Okay.
That's why I feel the worst about Val passing, because I feel like without knowing what was going on, he was trying to protect me from that. I know he took a number of hits for all of us, but I remember each and every one that he took for me. And I remember what was going on in my head at that time. So I feel responsible for it. That he had to go to that length.
You didn't make him. You didn't force him.
I know.
He made the decision himself.
I know.
And respect it. Don't blame yourself for something that isn't your choice. Listen,
regardless.
I certainly...
That's why I've been avoiding you. I was scared of what you would think. Not if, but when you found out.
What I think is that whatever occult thing is going on then, whatever affinity mix, the occult one is doing what the occult one does, which is trying to devour, and I'm sure corrupt. I won't lie. I don't think... I understand that it isn't your fault.
Alright.
It wasn't your choice.
Céline.
And you're seeking to fix it.
Perfect.
That's the goal, at least, or at least make it to where it's not something that is just happening whenever it wants to. I don't want to use it. But at this point, the only thing that I can hope for is trying to figure out how or why it happens so that it doesn't force its way in anymore.
Fuck. Right. You don't have to worry about anything that I will do or won't. It's a sickness from what it sounds like. Sickness will seek to cure you. However, you mentioned that it's trying to devour your water affinity.
The only thing that I knew that was of any note is that the divine spell that I know, the one on my blade, that was untouched. I don't know if it's the nature of how they seem to be opposites of each other or what, but it's the only thing that was spared.
I won't lie. It's going to take some trust, some time for me to be able to completely trust you, even if it's not voluntary.
I wasn't expecting you to right away.
Right. Well, that's smart. But I promise that in combat, I will not do anything to ail you, and I'll make sure to help you, especially since this is clearly involuntary. I don't know. I don't know. I need to think, Céline. There's a lot that's been happening today, and not just regarding Val.
It's... okay. As long as you believe what I'm saying,
yeah.
I have no reason to lie.
Yeah, and neither does the Chancellor.
You can...
It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to say anything else. I understand. At least I understand enough. You won't have to worry about me. I promise.
I'm worried about the rest of the world. wherever it is that we're going.
Can't you cut it?
I don't know what will happen if I do, and at this point it's more of a, if it's still there by the time that we need to disembark somewhere, then I can worry about trying to cut it or cover it or something.
Right, I suppose we can always just give you a good veil. That's like Rowan has. As long as no one says anything, there's no reason for them to suspect of your condition. Given that you've been very open about it, with him around, I imagine that he knows.
He was able to sense it in a way.
That's about right.
Similar affinities.
How quiet is it?
Yes. Some boxes on your right to help yourself.
How quiet do you want this to be?
Your right, that's your left.
Well, pretty much everybody saw, to some degree, during the battling. There's a few people that are aware of it because they were witness to some of the things, but I don't exactly want it to just be a general talking point of the student body, so outside of the people that that already know, I kind of want to just keep it into the team.
I'll respect your wishes then, and I will not mention anything.
Still can't fit downstairs. So.
Listen, Céline. Like I said, there's a lot going on.
If they bring it up without you needing to prompt them, then assume that's okay.
Right. I need to go now and talk with someone, but...
Go ahead.
You don't have to worry about me, at least.
That's alright. Yeah.
I'm pointing.
Yep.
What?
I don't mean to step in, but I have some spare blankets.
The ladder up is to your left. You're now facing it.
You could bring them to him. Yeah, just a little more. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Thank you.
I didn't realize that he had
if you
lost
could bring
his
them to him,
eyes.
that'd be great. I mean, he still has his eyes. He just can't see.
That pretty much is the same thing at that point. Unless you can heal vision.
Close enough, huh?
Well, admittedly, that went a lot better than I thought it would.
Seer healed some people's vision before. And
Maybe
Jackson has an 8 attack eye.
Maybe they'll be able to do the same thing, because we took her with us. Apparently.
Yep, the little deer. That's her.
Cute dear.
How are you feeling?
Well, waking up with a corpse over me was not the best way to start a day. Waking up and seeing that I'm still glowing like a rift. Not the best way to start a day. And
well, one thing about the time we'll get outside, I'm pretty sure that they'll be concerned about other things than your hair.
I'm giving it until we're close to where we're going to at least be at that first port for resupplying. If it hasn't gone away by then, then, well, I have to at least cut the parts that are glowing off and hope that it doesn't just creep up to wherever is uncut. try some way to cover it up or just stay on the ship. Because the last thing I want to do is cause us problems at whatever port allows us to even have entry.
Céline.
Oh.
One thing that I can assure you of is, while your hair looks like that, I'm sure that most people won't think anything of it. They're gonna look at me, they're gonna look at Angeal, they're gonna look at Ural.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine.
When you live in a place where that stuff isn't really a concern to people, at least you forget that the rest of the world is not. That the rest of the world has enough time to be preoccupied by what someone is.
The way I've described it to Angeal is that we lost our safe space. From now on, we're gonna be treated like everyone else treats.
Yeah. That's the part that it's now just rapidly dawning on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's more
But that's
just
okay.
That's to worry, but we have each other, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, after seeing everything you've done, who you are doesn't matter to me. You fight just the same.
Leave you to it if you'd like.
You're fine.
Yeah, sure. You can also sit here with us if you want to. That's up to you.
I spoke to Vesper, by the way. He took it better than I honestly expected, but he's obviously not 100% on board with it. But compared to what he could have been, it went a lot better than I thought it would.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
It helps that the Chancellor can back up what I said about what's going on inside. I told him if he wants to ask, he could.
And we'll figure that out. You know?
Yeah.
I've almost perfected that mana. Scan.
Well,
it should be soon good to.
You're more than free to
figure
look at the mess that's going on in here. Just make sure you have control data first.
Yeah. I've gotten some.
Good.
And as you've told me, I'm more than happy to be the test subject for it.
Honestly, at this point, I don't have anyone with an aqua affinity, so I think occult might have to do.
I was gonna say, I wish I could help you, but unfortunately, my case is tainted.
It would help to be able to distinguish.
I'm not sure, but maybe ask Leverial? I don't know if he has an affinity, but he does use.
And he's the only other person that really uses aqua magic.
I might be able to distinguish between you
well,
two,
if
maybe,
you
but
if you
that's something that
look at him and then look at me, then yeah, you'd at least be able to pick out the difference. Oh. Don't know what's going on there.
I feel like I missed something there, but...
I have a feeling that I'm hoping that's not the case, but just in case there might be something going on with Morgan. She knows about the whole Falari thing. I'm hoping nothing is happening there.
I mean, I heard something about the incident that occurred, at least to a degree, but
Also, Rowan, could you get over here real quick?
Sure thing.
Grab a hand. You'll do great. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Yeah, the sash is definitely yours for good. No longer temporary. So I don't think there's anyone else on the team that is suited to wear it right now. I sure as hell shouldn't be. But before
It's been a really shit month.
we get sidetracked, what's this about?
Yep.
The Falari thing? Just so I'm not assuming.
Basically, the Falari wanted the rule about petting them to be removed because they wanted to be, treated normally.
Just give them basic affection.
Yeah, basically being treated normally, and Malak threatened to eat them all, and Acteris, I'm not sure why, but I feel like it was for the sake of protecting the vast majority. He killed one of them.
Oh.
How have you been feeling, boy?
That explains why there was such immense uncomfortable tension on the ship while we were on Linvale.
Yep.
Because she was being very, very terse with them. I had no idea why.
Yeah.
The weight of another loss, especially when
That is why, yeah. Be completely honest, if you were to be thrown off the ship right now, I wouldn't complain.
Despite it all,
But
you're still part of your team.
we need as many people as possible.
And of course, if
So
you
it's not
don't,
worth it.
My ears always hear
Just, there's no benefit to it at this point. It doesn't change the reality of any of our situations.
The plan itself is that.
But either way, Rowan,
We arrive at shore, or
I'm-
specifically,
I know you were
when we
probably the
reach
closest to Val.
Eastern Four Dials, I will depart.
I'm very sorry. He was
I will have to return home.
He was
to
very
some
good at what he
forcing me
did.
to give a report towards everything.
Another
I
hero.
hope you understand that, Vesper, and I apologize.
All we can do now to make sure everyone knows that.
And despite
Mhm.
it all, even if we fought together,
Smart,
my main goal
ingenious,
is still just to be an
practical.
investigator, a mere scout to understand if you are worth the corporation.
He was great.
Sinclair,
But believe me,
I
I'm
understand. I never
not in
thought
any
that you would be
formal
a permanent
position.
addition,
Hell, I've
especially
only
since
known
you
you for a
had
few
arrived as
weeks,
an
but
ambassador.
if you
Unlike
need
the rest of the
help
students,
with
I understood the position
managing
it entails.
stuff, I'll
So don't worry
do
about
whatever
it.
I can.
However,
It doesn't have to be as a second or anything like that. I just
before you left,
don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like a
If you want to
burden
take a step
again.
back over there, we can gladly have the talk.
I appreciate it. I think these next few days is probably going to be a lot of thinking. Figuring shit out. I will say, if we are ever near Palvindor, or within Palvindor's borders, I'm going to try and at least bring back his journal to his family. I know there were scientists there. I want them to know the brilliant mind that he was.
Right.
I don't know when that will be, or if that will be, or maybe I'll die 20 minutes off getting off this boat. But I don't know if Lumen will be coming along, but I might be gone for a bit if that happens.
It'll get there one way or another. I promise you that.
Thank you. Have you seen Ren at all? I haven't seen them since.
I saw them.
She was at the dock last I saw.
Up at the upper deck.
Where are they holding up?
I honestly don't know. I haven't really gotten a chance to talk with her today.
She seems to be taking it well. Obviously she's not okay, but she's not bad either.
I'm just glad that she's verbal again.
Mhm.
She was completely mute the entire time that we were fighting.
I noticed. Must have been a shock.
There's probably more to it than just that, but yeah.
Once around. And,
yeah.
Take care of you too, right?
Of course. Gotta take care of what's left. But yeah. Never thought I was going to get the answer that I was thinking I wanted. The way that I did yesterday.
What's that? What's that?
How bad could it be? I had suspicions of what could happen if I ever had to be near one again. I was even prepared to try to work with the professors to try to quantify that in a controlled way. I got that answer in a much less controlled way, and well, just leaves me wondering what I even am at this point. Because with everything that has happened, it's hard to really look at myself and think that I have any claim to being remotely normal or okay.
Well, you mentioned it's like a sickness or some kind of curse.
Well, curse
I
is the
feel
most
like
recent
it's
term
something-
that's been brought up by a few. There's one who thinks
It definitely
that
sounds.
Go on. Sorry.
It sounds a lot like a curse, or something that must have shaken up your mana wells. Either way, you might think you're weird, but at the end of the day, Rosewood is the place where all the weirdos, I guess, gather.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen a half-demon?
Not
Even
at all.
heard of one?
You look more demonic than that full-blooded demons on campus.
Yeah. But either way, you're not weird.
I mean, there is
You're just troubled.
also one that thinks this could somehow be turned into something good. How, I don't know, but
Maybe you'll be able to communicate.
who knows? All I know is I've been asked to
I mean,
write out everything I know about what I have going on here, everything that I know, even things that I just suspect, just so that Sinclair wants to take it to the setting sun, see if he can find out something there. Without names, but just at this point, anyone who's willing to believe me and doesn't hear my story and immediately want to put a sword through my heart, I want to try to at least trust that they want to do something to help me, either make this stop or I don't know,
control it.
Is there like a rift equivalent to being a seer or something that anyone knows about? I mean, seers hear seers hear spirits. I hear rifts.
Maybe you'd be the first.
I don't know if that's the legacy I want to leave. Somehow I feel like the majority of the world would hear something like that and have an aneurysm.
Assume you're crazy.
Yeah. Assume I'm just like that. What was that one thing that was on the board? That shaman from Droza or something?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they're like me.
Yeah, maybe they're actually onto something.
If so, my condolences to them. Either way.
Well, based on what we know, we're likely heading towards Asix right now.
I think I heard
over there. There is.
Right now, there's like some island nearby Fevira that we might be stopping at for supplies at a port, but I don't think that's our final destination.
What I'm thinking is there'll be we'll probably be heading towards Panelbury by Norandal. That's where actually a former Lumen member is right now, Cecilia.
Yeah, I've heard stories. How she was in a way like me, but not.
Yeah, I feel like hers would fit more the allergic definition.
Given that instead of making her feel safe and empowered, I feel like she was dying. Well, because she was, but no. Semantics.
Yeah. She always had to fight separately from me and a few others.
Yeah,
because of her condition.
I didn't get the full extent of the details, but I got enough to understand.
So how do you feel now?
Hard to really say. I mean, it's one thing to feel a little bit relieved that I wasn't just going crazy and something was really happening. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because I know doesn't mean I'm happy about it. At the same time, I'm relieved that Vesper believes me when I said it wasn't desire or intent. I feel relieved that more aren't dead than what we ended up with. Just scared of what the future brings. Because we're going into uncharted territory for everything. Not just me, but
Hey,
our entire mission.
we're gonna be okay. When the night that Alea disappeared, I had a conversation with Ivan. He felt similar to you. He's afraid. He doesn't know what's gonna happen to us. I mean, none of us do, but
yeah.
As long as we all support each other, as long as we stand side by side and we go through our mission, then everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Everyone is doing various things to protect each other, such as Talia, who's...
The only thing we can count
Go
on
ahead.
at this point is each other.
Mm-hmm. Talia, for example, is trying to...
I'm tired. I'm just tired of all of
Mm-hmm.
it.
You're okay.
Oh, sorry.
You're okay. You're okay. Don't worry about it.
Still, you said before she was trying to work on something? Talia, that was.
Yes. Well, she said that she wants to, but she hasn't had the chance to try it yet. But she's trying to see if occult can be used to cure the devouring.
I don't really know, honestly. I mean,
The way she described it is, you would pass occult to destroy the parts of the devouring, and then pass over it with divine to heal the stuff that was destroyed.
effectively almost the same as like a magical amputation.
Basically, yeah.
I suppose the idea could make sense. You'd have to find someone who's really desperate to test something like that. I suppose if you had the devouring,
or maybe
you're dead either way.
Or maybe find someone. Yeah, our best bet would be able to find somebody with the sickness.
Yeah. I mean, worst case, it doesn't work. They lose nothing more with it. Best case, they're cured. Or they just
And maybe occultists will be seen in a better light.
That would take a lot of convincing to convince the world that people like me are good-hearted.
It's more people like you. I feel like it's more like me.
Fair enough.
At the end of the day, yours is involuntary. What I did was voluntary.
True.
I was in full control and I knew what I was doing.
Too much of the world. They wouldn't look at it whether it was voluntary or not. They'd probably say things like, well, if I knew that, why was I using magic at all? If I knew that divine was okay, why didn't I just stick to only the divine? Why did I allow it to go through my body at all? They'll find an excuse to make it no better than doing it willingly. It doesn't matter to the majority of the world. For every person that has a cult and has remorse about using it, or doesn't want to use it, there's just as many who revel in it, and those are the people that they see, and those are the experiences that they judge us with.
Mm-hmm.
It's to change that opinion would
Stupid.
require changing the opinion of almost the entire world itself.
Which probably never gonna happen, or at least not the majority. I mean, hell, people are still fighting over half-elves, just stuff like that.
They fight over things that ultimately don't even matter when the world itself is dying. And I mean, even if we did somehow prove that, like, occult magic could be used to seal or otherwise erase a rift, I feel like there would still be people that would complain, well, why couldn't you find a way to do this with divine magic? Why couldn't you do this with earth magic? Whatever kind of magic, anything to not have to confront the idea that they might be wrong about their beliefs. People don't like having to face that. People don't like having to admit that.
I mean, here's another thing, right? Usually people look at the rifts like something that's occultic of nature. But how do we know that? Is it just because of the color?
I suppose if there's
I mean, for all we know,
close to finding that answer, it could be me on that front.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this isn't actually. Maybe it's not a cult. Maybe it's something else. And yet it feels the same. Either way, I'd rather not worry about what they're going to think, because wherever we're going is not going to be as great as it was elsewhere. Ah, fuck. Can't believe he's fucking dead. Again. Every time. Every time I kill Zuko, I grow stronger. I will consume your soul and become the most powerful caster known to man. I will become a Void Prime. Anyways, you reach onions and still wait for him. Anyways, you were saying?
Well, I was saying, when it comes to the rifts, for all we know, what if, I don't know, the gods saw how we treated the two different types of magic and decided to throw the rifts at us as punishment?
Like some form of reset.
Maybe, I don't know.
I suppose that really... The only way to really know for sure what they are is to know what lies on the other side. Because it's... For things to come out of it would imply that it is a gateway to somewhere else. Somewhere where the beasts are natural there. So what is that place, and why is it bridging itself over to this plane so destructively?
I'm not sure. But hey, we're here to find that answer.
Yeah.
No matter what
Among
happens.
many things, at least.
Well, no matter what happens, grab. Well, over here, closer.
Oh.
No matter what happens, we'll be here, and we'll protect each other. Okay?
It was speech. I was not actually going to.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Oh, sorry.
It's alright. Just startled.
I'm willing to protect anyone, even those that are against me. I've said it to Vesper before.
I believe you. I've seen what you've been doing. It's not something that you can just pretend to do and not be incredibly obvious that it's just pretending. It's genuine, I can tell.
I just want to make sure that people will understand. I just want to keep people safe. And I do dumb decisions because of it.
Everyone does something stupid in the path of what they try to protect or believe in. Doesn't make them bad people. They're only bad if they make those mistakes and then refuse to accept that they are mistakes.
For example, I've apologized to Vesper because, well, I've kind of overdone it, overstepped my boundaries with him. But at the same time, it was all for the sake of not causing any conflict between us.
Conflicting ideals in a moment where, honestly, at a point where words weren't really conveying what you felt and things boiled over.
Well,
and yet you're not proud of it, so I don't think that's a bad thing.
Not at all. If anything, I am upset by it because I believe I couldn't get through, and I couldn't protect others. But I know I can protect people another way. And that is by putting my shield in front of them when they need to.
Protect what you can, how you can. They can't stop you from doing that. And you proved it yesterday. At least I think you did.
I came here with the first boat. I've been around since the very beginning.
So you've seen a lot of it then.
I've seen a lot of it. I've seen the first 3 students die. Hugo, Sand, and Sai. They were all amazing, and They died while I was there. I know now that all that matters is to keep them
Grab.
in my heart.
Grab Sniffle.
It's alright.
Mm-hmm.
You did
Don't
what
worry.
you could.
A lot of people have come and gone during the time I've been here. Such as even some that were very close to me. One of them was my closest friend, the only person from my childhood other than my sister. His name was Korudo. After his son's death, he left as he couldn't handle the stress. And, well, I want to believe that he's alright. However, knowing his family's condition and his mental state,
there's no way to tell for sure.
Well, there's also the fact that he lived at the Warden Keep. And you know what happened there.
I do. Unfortunately, I do.
Well, there's a lot that has disappeared. Such as so many people that have come and gone. They're probably still out there somewhere, or they could be dead, but of course, hoping for the best. That's how I am.
Yeah.
Lyra, Abdel, Grim, Tenebris, Honora.
I wish I was able to get to know some of those people. I've heard some of those names periodically, but not really much behind them, just that they existed and that they were here at some point. So, I mean,
Well,
for anybody to be
Lyra
had to be.
Lyra was the most sweetest, energetic little gremlin that you could have ever seen. She was a ray of sunshine.
Even more so than some of the Falauri these days.
Oh, they would have been best friends.
That's something to imagine.
A lot of the people that have gone will likely never see them again, either because they're dead or because they're off somewhere.
They're just walking a different path to us.
Such as Amari and Gil.
Honestly,
you know,
I'm glad they were
actually the night
out.
before you guys arrived, Amari actually came to Ignis and told me that she was leaving.
Yeah, I found out based off the fact that Gil didn't leave Linvale with us. That's when I heard apparently he and her met up together and went their own way. And honestly, all I can say is that I'm just glad they were able to get out before everything that happened. And I just hope that wherever they are, they're safe.
Find yellow.
I'm sure that if they would have still been there with us, they would have done everything in their power to help us.
I have no doubt.
As much as they disliked the way this academy, this system, they always protected us. You love this team.
Based off the way that he worked with me while I was leading a group of my own, I believe that. It's just a shame, because I honestly enjoyed working with him.
Well, what matters is the people that are here now. And the people that are here now are going to be working with you.
I know.
Whether they like you or not.
Yeah. There are people that I'm comfortable with, and that's at least what I'm going to hold on to. I hope it's obvious by now that you're on that list.
I would assume so. But hey,
Still nice to verbalize it.
if you ever feel lost, or if you need anything, like maybe you can't sleep, or something feels wrong, or you just want to talk with someone, just let me know, alright?
Sure. I'll remember that. Probably do a little round at the ship, see who's still up, but I think it's probably about time that...
Yep.
Hopefully if I just rest enough, maybe I will be able to keep the length and I won't have to get rid of it to try to protect myself.
Well, hey, no matter what happens, I'm sure you look great, short or long.
Thanks.
Thing that he could, like, in case he was fighting, to protect his eyeballs.
How is that? Mine's kind of just whenever.
You are retreated, yeah? Yeah, this is what it touch it if you'd like. Should be a little warm, but probably feels a little...
You can't get rid of me as much as I can't get rid of you.
Seems like it's quiet.
Makes sense.
I mean, what would I do if I woke up tomorrow and I didn't, see Murtesh's beautiful face?
Hey.
Alright.
Or hear Solus's goofy laugh.
That's a good one.
Or the Chancellor's annoyed sighs.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do if I woke up and I wasn't here. If everybody here, I'd probably feel pretty lost.
I think we're all feeling that right now, given everything.
Now that we're all stuck on this ship, we're all a family. I don't know, what are we all feeling? Hopeful. Sure am. Oh, that's not too unusual for my everyday self, is it?
No, it's not. I've seen the way you hold yourself.
Pretty nice view, right?
I'm excited.
We get to go see the world.
Yeah. If you don't, as long as you don't burn the ship down.
Yes, don't do that.
Oh, that's good.
No, think about it. Oh.
I got her some something.
Okay.
If you,
It's good.
Kinda.
I guess you're the new
Really
captain
glad she's
of
okay.
Ignis now.
Well enough.
Just no
For now, yeah.
if it's well
I
enough
drowned when I
to
was
swim
shoved
to
For
the
now.
island, then
LeFron's not able to do it, and I was next in line, and he offered it to me, so I said I'd take it, but as long as, he's coming back to take it, when he's ready, when he can see again, or capable again, I guess.
I'll be in my quarters.
So,
I'm turning
shouldn't be too much work.
I'll be up for a few more minutes, and
Nope.
Fine for it.
When Anna got attacked by a rift beast,
I think it'll be okay.
him into the
I think.
water, I kind of jumped in without thinking, which usually would be a pretty bad sign of the whole fire magic, but the fire sword didn't, go out. I just kind of kept swinging and it was fine. It was a little harder to maintain, but I was able to do it still, so, I can burn shit.
You doing okay, Brent?
No, not remotely.
I mean, I'm just glad that you're talking again. Personally.
Sorry about that.
No.
I'll leave you two to talk.
It's... sorry for intruding.
Not. And,
It's fine.
I feel like I did okay during the... You two have a good night.
I'm ghost to you.
Don't set my boat in fire. And, if any Ferrari steal your foot, I can't go running off easily now.
We all experience things differently. Not holding that against you. You still were there for me and everyone else. I'm just glad that you're... I'm just glad that you're here.
I don't know what any shoes. I mean, right back. Look at their shoes. Look at the names.
How are you holding up?
I'm worried about you being safe, so...
Well, other than just being worried about what comes next and just praying that this goes away by the time we reach port. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to either try to find a way to cover it up or or pray that if I cut it off, it will not just creep up higher.
Yeah.
I have some writing that I need to do before we get to that port anyways. Sinclair wants to try to leverage the setting sun's knowledge to see if there's a way to figure it out or otherwise identify if there's others like me.
Gather everyone up. I'll tell you guys a bedtime story. Come on.
Hey, Rowan.
Private talk too, or?
No.
No.
Just
Actually, I
checking
feel
on
like
her.
we should talk. All of us.
I'll be at the back of the boat. We'll gather there or something.
I believe Vesper's below deck talking to
Isabel and Elenia.
I didn't see Elenia, but I did see, or not Isabel, but I did see Elenia.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean,
Me too.
you are right, because we need to figure out what we're doing now, because it's just the four of us.
I'm just gonna speak candidly. I feel broken. I feel like I know I've only been we've only been here, what? 2 weeks? But it feels
2 weeks, maybe 2.5 tops.
like Lumen is broken.
Oh, and this might be a bit of a weird question.
Yeah.
the tale? Is it easy?
I don't disagree. I feel like I barely even know anyone on Lumen. I mean, even Vespa, who's now their second most senior, has only been here for, what, a month?
Only just a little bit longer than us two, but...
And even me, I've only been here for 4.
At this point,
maybe 5.
We're all basically...
Well, here we are.
Completely kind of without a guide at this point. He was obviously our most senior and was always the one that had a plan, but what do we do except make a new Lumen? We're all basically new. Have to build it back up.
Sorry, time up there. So yes. Up there.
Oh, Captain Clab brought up a good point earlier.
As is happening then.
I don't think we know each other really at all. I know where some of you are from, but I don't know if it's a good place to start, but
To be honest, we haven't spoken much since we got here. You and I think, spoke for the first time one-on-one when I was coming out of the depressive side and entering the manic side. And the last time, or the second to last time we had a serious talk, you went to go fight the entirety of Ignis, which I feel partially to blame for. But yeah, I don't think we all know each other that well.
So yeah, we only really got a chance to talk on the ship. I've been avoiding you because I was afraid of you.
Really makes a difference for Elaine.
We sorted that out.
Sort of explains, I guess.
You're the only one I really
Yeah,
talk to heavily. And I,
It
for
dawned
once,
on
like
me.
to have a normal conversation with you.
Came up onto the top deck, I'm standing there. You two ran off to go talk about who knows what. You went off with Isabel and Elenia. And that's when it hit me. That's usually when me and Val go do something.
Right.
A land ruined by snow as far as the eye can see, storms constantly pushing more and more.
We're not gonna have the comfort and safety of the Institute wherever we end up. So we really need to fix that.
I mean, even a day after she was gone.
Like, we all have our friends, we all have people that we know outside of our teams, but yeah, we barely know each other. We can work together when it's serious time, but why does it have to be serious time for us to actually feel like a team?
well, I guess I'll start. I'm Rowan Elliott. I'm from Pendlebury. I spent the last 7 years of my life in a walled-off church, so I'm pretty naive. I had an unfortunate accident when I was 15 that left me like this. I came to Rosewood to further my magic so I can help in ways more than just first aid on the sidelines when people run out to die.
I was like,
What remained on the other side of the snowstorm?
I don't really
Family would tell me.
know where to go from there, though.
You can't go.
wonder where she went.
You'll get hurt. We don't want to see you go.
They go somewhere,
That
but they
didn't
disperse. And she just turned into
Céline Lunestri. From Naitanui. Have some sort of weird connection to Rifts where it feels like they talk to me. Among other things. Came here to try to figure out what that was after reaching out on a whim to Alea. when I'm not causing people existential dread. I like looking up the stars and the moon. I enjoy dance. Something that's normal in this world that's pretty much lost every sense of comfort that usually there is.
Alea stayed strong, but as time passed, it got more difficult.
My name's Aaron Luckhart, but you all know I like to be called Ren instead. I was born on the northeast coast of Droza, and when I was around 12 or maybe 13, I can't remember, I went with my family on a raid to Asix. Right before we made landfall, the world split apart. Since then, I have lost every single person that has ever meant anything to me. And I have spent the last 10 years traveling across Asix trying to find home with a man who raised me like his own. And after Kenvale, I didn't see a way forward but here. I like to brew mead, and I like to carve. And if I were in a better mood, I'd probably be over there fishing right now, too. I love the ocean. I like bees.
Right. I'm Vesper Suarez. I am the son of the leader of my tribe. I was born in River's Dusk, a village in some nice little valley with a river going through it. In Greenhaven, as some of you might know, the Shades invaded a few years ago, 6, and they, you know, I don't have to spell it out. There's still some of us left, and the reason I came here was to obtain magic so I can come back and reclaim what was lost. And one day, lead to my tribe. I like the stars. I like reading. I like reading fantasy. I like poetry. I like... What do I like? I liked a lot of things. Plenty of luxury. We used to trade. It wasn't easy to adjust to sleeping in caves. I don't know. I'm not very picky. Yeah, that's everything, I suppose.
Where'd you learn to bake?
My mother taught me. When I was young, before the rifts opened, she used to show me all sorts of things. And baking was one of them.
How about you? Who taught you the art of brewing?
Vates, the man who took me in, but I learned it earlier just by watching. He's the one who helped me get good at it now.
You said that you lived in a church or something for some time. I don't remember what you said, if you had said where it was.
No. Capital city of Pendlebury. The people of my church took me and my family and we were displaced. And spent most of my time there. Mostly recovering, mind you.
Time and time again.
Didn't realize we had 2 stargazers, though, in the team.
Right, I think it kind of came out of a tendency that I was always looking up towards the moon. It was kind of always something that I found particularly fond of.
I follow the Celestine of Qualm, and I also... so it's only fitting. And... well, although less openly, I suppose there's no harm in saying that I, especially since I'm thinking about getting something to represent my worship. It would be weird if one day I just appeared with it and no explanation. But I worship the goddess of creation as well, Droza.
Just I got stuck in a snowstorm.
Exactly. And remember, if you go somewhere...
I worship Valkyrie. Where I grew up, on the coast, we were between the ocean and the mountains. The winds came in strong, like Ventus was opening up right onto us. I don't worship much these days, but I still feel bark and the wind kiss. I like to look at the clouds.
Might be a slight hint in the name, in my family's name, but my family has all been worshippers of Luna. So much so that whoever named them a while back pretty much had a name that was akin to something of ancestry of Luna. All of their rituals and practices always focused on the night, whenever the moon was clearly seen. In a way, that's why a lot of the, at least every generation of my family, there's somebody with a water affinity too. Something's usually passed down.
No, mine's not generational, but I am a follower of the Nightmare, a goddess of redemption. She, technically I guess I'm a priest under her, but I know it's a bit odd for it to be a... Nightmare is more personal typically, but this sect that I'm with a bit more Asixian in nature, I suppose.
Have you done your priestly vows then?
Some of them. So, I am mostly in name, admittedly, but by sanction and title, at least in Norndale, I have the ability to give rites and whatnot. Sermons, all the like.
Admittedly, I know a bit about Qualm and Valkyrie, but I don't actually know a whole lot about the Nightmare. Be interested to hear what they're like from your point of view sometime.
Yeah, I don't want to bog down the conversation too much, but she, as mentioned before, the goddess of redemption, the silent, elegance, beauty that stands at your side when you suffer through all of the dreams and nightmares of, sorry. I'd be happy to go into it a bit more later on, but again, I don't want to divert the whole conversation.
Right.
A long time ago,
Oh.
went on their adventure to paradise.
We're all worshippers.
A far more
We're all here for our own reasons, it seems. But we're all looking for home, I think. Is that unfair to say?
I don't have a home to go back to, so I have to make one
That's
wherever
what I
I
mean.
can.
We're all looking for one in one shape or another. Take it back, to make it safe. To find a new one. To go back.
And to have some semblance of family, from the sounds of it too.
Is that who Lumen is?
If not, there's nothing stopping us from making it that way. It's up to the four of us at this point, what it becomes.
Yeah. It's entirely different now. Whatever Lumen becomes, you know, be good to at least put a foot forward and to try and direct it, I guess. I am, not quite sure, and a bit frazzled right now. To be honest, I think we all are, though. But I will do my best, I suppose.
And we'll do our best too, Captain.
We'll try our best.
You've given me no reason to distrust that you'll be able to do just as good a job as the captains before you. If not better.
Different types of things. Alea had been on a shelf most of their life, but there were some that were intended for dining tables.
There's one last thing.
There were all sorts. There were lanterns. There were
I'm sure you two saw it too. You were at the Fight Vesp. You were doing something with miscellaneous, her name. Alea's assistant, but
Miss Somar, I believe.
Val threw himself in front of each of us at least once. He pulled out when he saw there was danger we didn't notice.
Man is a hero.
He didn't have to, but he did. And I feel like if we're establishing who we are, I need to be honest. I don't think I can live up to that.
Maybe not that, but you don't have to be Val or be like him to still care and protect those around you. You have your own way of doing it. It doesn't have to be throwing yourself in front of somebody else. It can be something like making sure that that never needs to happen in the first place. or something else beyond that.
But when all else failed, they found
Don't sell yourself short either. I saw you take down and hunt down at least 4 or 5 of those things.
they were indeed little Alea's new family.
That's not. Are you willing to die for another like that? Because I don't think I'm there.
As I am now? Maybe not. But when you're in the moment, things feel different. What you're willing to do for other people can be influenced. And at this point, we've already lost enough people. I don't intend to see any more yellow gambesons be turning red. However that's accomplished, we'll just have to see.
I know how much you
With that in mind,
you're safe now.
I don't know if the news has spread around yet, but I figured you'd at least be interested. We have his body preserved currently, with Professor Bombadil hopefully to make some better preservatives for the coming days. Bare minimum, we're definitely taking him to our next port, where we can hopefully give him a better funeral. Proper funeral.
Speaking of that, we should ask the ones that are also for Pamindor. As far as I understand, Lucia and Luca spent some time there. So that we can give him the rights that he would have been given back home.
Of course.
We can reach out to them before we make it to port. We have a couple more days at sea.
After that, when we have more details, I'll try and figure out more.
Yeah. No one's expecting anyone, let alone you, to have every answer right now. We're all sailing blind, in a sense.
Well, a calm sea never made for an expert sailor, so yeah, we have to keep going, despite that.
Do we fill the gap?
That entirely
Will
depends.
we be able to fill the gap?
I don't know what their plans are.
Is it just us now?
No.
We'll have to see.
There's also the gap in Aqua with Gil's departure.
We don't know if people are willing to join yet either.
Your friends are waiting for you.
But if there are people that come, we need to make sure that we give them the welcome that we want Lumen to be known for going forward as our first foot forward.
drink heavily.
If that's how we want to do it, that's how we do it.
What did you say?
We drink heavily. We're gonna spill blood side by side. We should spill some ale first.
If it's anything like that stuff I saw you make that you were swaying so much you could dodge things trying to hit you, I'd love to try that sometime, just to know how strong that is.
That sounds truly terrifying.
Mostly because I'm interested to taste what... As you said, it was infused by mana via the brewing process. Curious what that does to it.
That's interesting. I guess that makes sense because, well, mana brews you called them, right?
I let the yeast I use to ferment the... First off, the honey is from a hive near magic, where the plants show signs of being affected by it, like rifts or spirits or just mages and such. Then the yeast I let sit in Sky Lily, I think it's called. And it's the key component for mana potions.
It is.
And then from there, I put it into the honey with water, pure, clean. And the result is an alchemical base / incredibly potent alcohol.
That can and will probably knock you on your ass.
Is that what you gave me before, or was that a regular mana potion?
That was regular mana potion.
Okay, that's good. Not saying don't give me one if you need to, but...
You would have felt it if it hadn't been.
Hey, Batches.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Not speaking to your little cats.
Still.
Did you manage to get your horn back, by the way, Rin?
Yeah, I found it in the belongings. Lost and found, I guess you could call it.
There was stuff I thought I was going to have left behind, but turns out Val at some point went back to the dorms when all that started and had gone for everything in the room, including my stuff. He pretty much just grabbed whatever he saw. So, I still have that. I never got a chance to say thank you because I didn't find out about it until... well, after he'd already gone to sleep.
Okay.
Anyway. With everything that's hit today, news-wise, exhaustion's caught up to me. So I'm probably gonna go below deck and try to get a bit
Did
of
you two hear where we're going?
No, I didn't hear.
The initial port, I think, but not the final destination.
We're heading west. I don't know the final destination, but we've been heading west by northwest from the island, and I've overheard a couple people say we're going to be docking in Fevira.
Yeah, I overheard that.
The investor mentioned that we would be stopping at the Fort Isles for some time, and that's when he was getting enough. So that might be where we're going.
I just thought you two would like to know, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Confirms what I thought I heard.
My arm's getting a little sore. I'm gonna put you down.
Alright.
Bye.
Try to get rest when you guys can. I'll see you guys in the morning.
Get some rest.
The lines of great heroes are pushed forward
say.
Good night, Val. Rest well, wherever you are.